Hello. I didn't realize I was already live. I apologize. So today we're going to be talking about some spooky kids and adult reads that you can give as holiday gifts for yourself or for your loved one. Let me just welcome people real fast. Welcome to Dark Side of the Library. Follow and comment. Follow and comment. Happy holidays. Okay, so a lot of these are books that I've actually done a few podcast episodes of, but you can find them over on Amazon if you are interested. I also need to switch over to my Amazon. I was really excited to go live, so I just accidentally pressed the button and I was like, we're going live. All right, so we are now live over on Amazon. Hello and welcome. So I wanted to point out the first obvious thing. I'm clearly not really in the camera right now. So I will go back to this eventually too today, just so you're aware. But as you can tell, I hope you can actually hear me. So let me know if it's hard to hear because this pump is working. So we have on our first thing I wanted to share with you today. This is the blow up inflatable of Jack Skellington. Here, let's see. I hope I can get him. Maybe I can get him a little closer so that you can see him. So this is so cute. Hello, he says. This is a blow up inflatable Jack Skellington. He is on a chimney, or he's coming out of a chimney. It stands about 5.5 feet tall, so I can actually see eye to eye with him. He might even be 6 feet tall, honestly. Like he's actually a lot bigger than I anticipated. And he's easy to store too. That's one of my favorite things about him. And he's pretty affordable as far as an inflatable goes. I really dig him. So I love his creepy hands. The light, he has a light inside of his face, so you can actually see him on like your sidewalk or wherever in your yard. So check him out if you're looking for some darker Christmas sort of inflatables. Of course, Nightmare Before Christmas is the perfect thing to have. So I just wanted to point that out. And as always, before we get into some of our books today, just wanted to point out some of the tech that we use to live stream / podcast / do shoppable videos over on Amazon. We have the Elgato Facecam, which is here. I think it's actually raised in price. It's about $150 right now, but it's a pretty good camera, very high quality. We also have the Blue Yeti mic, which went down substantially. It's $63.96. I don't know why my voice did that. Really good price. And it's a really nice mic, has very good sound quality. Again, if it's hard to hear me because of the inflatable, the pump in here, then let me know. You can comment and be like, hey, turn off the Jack Skellington inflatable. Okay, so those are the things that I wanted to share with you real fast before we get into the actual books. So first today, some of these I have not had the opportunity to read yet. Some of them have great reviews, and I just wanted to point them out to you. Some of them I have read. In fact, I would say more than half of these I have definitely read. And we've done podcast episodes of, so make sure to subscribe over there if you are watching elsewhere. Okay, so the first book I want to share with you today is the Book of Witches. This is an anthology. Here are some of the contributors. I just want to let you know all the wonderful authors in here. So we have Linda D. Addison, C.L. Clark. There is Cassandra Kah, huge name. Garth Nix, Cherie Renee Thomas, Tade Thompson. A ton of people have contributed to this really cool book. So stories and poems. Witches come in all shapes, sizes, forms, good, evil, chaotic, lawful. Witches are pretty awesome in folk tales and in stories. So all of these authors take their own interpretation of a witch and have crafted a story for them. So a lot of us know witches from like things like Wicked. Shakespeare has witches. They also have wicked witches. Clearly, Grimm fairy tales, tons of witches. And then, of course, just witches in contemporary culture. We have like the Scarlet Witch. that could be considered a witch. So we have a ton of stories in here. Some of them they don't have illustrations, sorry, but like the introduction to most of these stories or things, there's some cool illustrations. But personally, I love anthologies. I think they're really nice. And if I were gifted so I would say a safe bet, if you were gifting a friend or a family member a book, sometimes it's hard to know what they would like for sure, because not everything that you like, they're going to like. I think with an anthology, you are closer to getting a hit than a miss because there's so many stories, if that makes sense. Unless if it's a ton of misses, that would be horrible. So I love this idea. So if you do know somebody who loves witches, witch stories, fairy tales, or even contemporary witches to science fiction witches, this is the book to grab. And it has a darker flair. A lot of these stories are written by some really amazing horror authors like Cassandra Khatt, actually. So check this one out. It is a pretty good deal right now for a very large anthology book. There's over 20 stories in here. This is the Book of Witches. It's $29.94, so 25% off. It's usually $40. So this is a cool gift option. It's like awesome material, and then you and your friends or your loved ones, whomever, can chat about it when they're done reading it. That's why I love giving people books, because it's just a kind of a fun thing. So that was my first book. The next book I want to share with you today is if you have any nonfiction readers in your life, we have a couple of cool nonfiction books. Oh no, I think I forgot to add one. I'll add it later. So this one is The Underworld. This one came out this year. It is called Journeys to the Depths of the Ocean by Susan Casey. So this is dark in a weird way. So it talks about how we wrap up myths, literature about the underworld to the ocean. The ocean can be a spooky place. Like, we don't know hardly anything about what's going on in just the ocean, which is the majority of the place we live. So there are some photos in here that describe like ocean adventuring, what things look like down there, some discoveries that have been made, including some creepy creatures, creepy fish that some people would be like, oh, about. So Susan Casey, like I said, has wrapped up a lot of the tales about underwater diving, etc., to actual diving. So what it says here, I'll just read the sleeve really briefly. The deep ocean has been a source of wonder and terror in an unknown realm that evoked a singular, compelling question. What is down there? Unable to answer this for centuries, people believed that the deep was a sinister realm of fiendish creatures in deadly peril. I mean, they're not entirely wrong if you look at the creatures down there. So now with cutting-edge technology, scientists and explorers can dive beneath the Earth's surface or beneath the surface, and now we can learn about this underworld. That's kind of what this is about. So if you do know anybody who loves underwater or diving stuff, or maybe wants a interesting, spooky but nonfiction tale about the underrealm and the ocean, check this one out. This one's been raved about for a really long time. This one came out during the summer. Okay, I do have some kids' books too. I don't want to forget them. They're kind of towards the end, so let me share with you. I feel like I'm getting sick, or there's a lot of dust in here. Okay, so one of the books that I have for you today, I know it's technically kind of a Halloween book, but it's still really cute. If you have kids who love Halloween time, there's no reason you can't get them a Halloween book during the holidays, especially since, like, here we are Dark Side of the Library. Spooky stuff is all year round. So this is a cute book. It's called Bone Soup, a spooky, tasty tale. So I'll read a few pages for you so you get the gist of how it sounds, how it flows, that sort of thing. The illustrations are adorable. We clearly at Dark Side of the Library love witches. You'll see a lot of witchy books here. So we get you. We got you. Okay, here's how it looks on the inside. One Halloween morning, 3 very hungry witches were looking for a tasty treat. They checked the cupboards only to find nothing there. I've been there. It's horrible. Bare, said the naggy witch. Empty, said the craggy witch. Only a small dry bone, said scraggy witch. Only a bone. Only a bone, you say? Piff poof. Let's make bone soup, sisters, cackled naggy witch gleefully. Bone soup is the perfect Halloween treat. Well, we'll see. You don't say witchy books. I would have never thunk it. Yes, Sean, I know. You're here enough to know that we cover all kinds of witchy books. We're just witchy over here, yes. But there's more than witchy books here today. The three witches carried their cauldron and bone far and away until they came to a door. The witches hadn't even begun to knock when the door groaned open, and there, the scariest looking monster they had ever seen before them. Or, oh my gosh, it made this... Sorry, apparently I can't read today. It made the witches shiver, but alas, they were very hungry. Okay, not that I can't read. There's a kid voice or like a storytelling voice, and that's just not coming off today for me. Look at the scariest monster that they saw. Trick or treat, we've something unusually good to eat. It's bone soup, soup from a bone, said Naggy Witch. So this is a cute little book about three little witches, three sisters, who try to sell their soup to all kinds of fun, spooky characters. This, of course, is a great Halloween book, but if you do have any kiddos out there that love just spooky stuff or the Halloween aesthetic, they're going to love this. I mean, especially if they're like a little Grinchy, or if they're like, I want more Halloween, or Halloween needed to be longer this year. This would be a really cute book. Or you can just save it. If you're a teacher or, an educator, you work with kids a lot, you can also just save this for the future for next Halloween too. It's a cute, cute little book. This is Bone Soup, a spooky, tasty tale. Who doesn't love food and books together? All right, so the next book I want to share with you is, let me get to it. There are some that I did not get to grab and put on my shelf, and then I added a whole bunch of new ones. Okay, so this is Tombs. I am going to do a podcast episode of my top 5 books of this year, and this one has made it for sure. This one is definitely a 5 out of 5. It is by Junji Ito. It is a manga, so if you know anybody who is a comic lover and loves horror, this is the one to get. So Junji Ito's amazing. I rave about him all the time. Check out the art style. It's sinister and creepy. So this is, again, I don't think I can show that. This, again, is an anthology. So there are 9 different, I think it's 9. It's 9 or 11 stories in this anthology that showcase, I guess, Junji Ito's amazing imagination. He is the king of horror for a reason. He has something spooky for everybody. So if you are somebody that loves spooky houses, he has you. If you like weird creature monster things, that's another one. If you like psychological thrillers, he has everything covered. So a lot of them are kind of surreal, a little supernatural, and just really eerie and fun. I love that you can see in this particular comic the growth, like with the art and the writing compared to some of his older works. Like Uzumaki is amazing. He's amazing, but like I love the progression in the style, or Tomie. So this is a great thing to give somebody if they already have a Junji Ito collection. This is his latest book that came out in English. So this has been out for a bit in Japanese, but in English, it's all compiled together in this really awesome hardback. So check out Tombs. I highly recommend it. It is in my top 5 books of this year that I've read. I thought I would take it slow. I was like, I'll just read I'll read a story every afternoon for a week. No, I read it in the afternoon. It was so good. So Tombs is fantastic. It's 33% off, $16.81 right now. So a steal for a pretty good sized book. Soup sounds good. It's very cold here. It's 63 over there. Oh my. Wait a minute. 63. That's like an everyday in Washington. You guys must be really used to it being really warm over there. Yeah, because I think it might be around 48, 50 here. Okay, so next on my list today, let's do another kids book. This one isn't super duper spooky, but it's really cute. And it's actually kind of perfect for Lunar New Year too. It is called Tokyo Night Parade. I've been wanting to read this one. I want to just read the whole thing. It's beautiful. So this is about all of the kami that come and visit our main character, Eka, for the night. So let's read it together. So Eka is waiting. I wish my light wasn't so bright. The colors are very pretty in this kid's book. Lots of beautiful blues and purples and pinks. She listens with pointed ears for the strange sounds of the night parade, for the music and mumbling, hooting and screeching. Eka is waiting for her monsters. It's been a while since Eka's come home to Tokyo, but she wouldn't miss her favorite evening this year. Come out, Eka, a familiar voice croaks. Oh my, croaks. So now she goes off in adventures, and she finds her first little evil demon. These are all are yokai, sorry, not kami, yokai. So all of these are Japanese demons that come and visit her, but they're done in a kid's form. So finally, Eka slips off her futon, slides up in the shoji, and sneaks down the spiral staircase. In the garden, the kappa slithers out of the pond. It walks with the slapping steps, leaving wet footprints on the stone path. Eka says hello, and the kappa does the same, and they go off on their adventure. Well, yeah, it's very humid and 95 plus here during the summer. Oh, we have those temperatures for about 5 months out of the year. I would die over there, Sean. I am impressed. I don't think I could do that. So then they go through a bunch of really cool torii gates with some red lanterns. It's like they travel to another realm. So now we see some more awesome yokai monsters as they travel through. I do every day. I can't do it. I am impressed. I'm impressed. Take it. So here we have Eka waiting. Oh, this is like Where the Wild Things Are a little bit, but with a Japanese flair, because we have Eka going out in a cute little fox suit, meeting all of her monster friends, and doing a whole night parade. So if you're looking for a cute book that you can read all year round, it tones down the creepiness of the yokai for obvious reasons, but it's very fun, very vibrant. You get to learn about Japanese yokai. This is a cool book, and I don't know if a night parade is a real thing. I still have to read through this book, which is crazy because I've had it for so long and I want to read more. Check it out. It's so cute. This is the night parade. I love it. It's beautiful, and it's light, spooky, just like how Where the Wild Things Are. Very, very similar storytelling. I love the yokai on the back too. Aren't they cute? Okay, let's move on to a adult novel. So let's see what I've got. I have a ton of people who are I didn't grab that one, unfortunately. Okay, I'm not going to even talk about it then. Oh, shame on me. There's a few of these that I totally forgot. Okay, so let's talk about Olivia Blake real fast, because she's got her third installment of the Atlas 6 book coming out in January, I believe. And so in between, she's becoming an awesome, prolific author. I'm very, very happy about it. So she wrote this year Masters of Death. This is a really, really awesome novel too. So we have a bunch of characters. Let me read the sleeve. It's been a bit since I've read it. So we have Viola, who's a real estate agent and a vampire. Her biggest problem is that the house that she needs to sell is actually haunted. And it's haunted by this ghost that's been murdered, and he won't leave until this murder has been solved. So she goes to this other character named Fox Demora, who is the godson of death. He's the only actual mortal in this story. So we also have a ton of other characters here. We have a couple archangels. We have we do have a demon in here. There's oh my gosh, I have to look. They show all of these characters in the sleeve. So that's another thing I like about Olivia Blake. Oh my gosh, is that she does like her characters illustrated in her books. And then of course we have our ghost. So this book is beautiful because this isn't just a story about how to get a house out of get a ghost out of a haunted house. This story is actually about mortality and how it takes a spin on how we as humanity, because we are mortal, we always are seeking out immortality. But it talks about the beauty of mortality and how we are able to appreciate things. Immortals have a hard time finding love or even justifying it, and they become numb to a lot of things. And so she explores different immortal beings that are in different elements. So like archangels are technically immortal, vampires and that sort of thing. She explores that in different lenses and presents this really stunning story about a guy who is surrounded by immortals, who thinks it's a disadvantage, but realizes that being mortal is an advantage. So that's my very bastardized explanation of the story. But Olivia Blake is a beautiful author. I highly recommend reading her stuff. I hope the Atlas 6, the last installment, gets really gets better. The second book was kind of but she's a fantastic author, no doubt about it. So if you're looking for a up-and-coming Gothic writer, Olivia Blake is definitely one to check out. I'm usually not all about the TikTok book trends, but she is one that is totally justified, in my opinion. So check out Masters of Death. Highly recommend it, and it's Olivia Blake. All right, so the next book I want to share, I actually nerded out with somebody about this book this weekend, which is pretty fun. Let me find it in my carousel real fast because I have a ton of books in here. It's Brahms Slewfoot. So I wished I promoted this book a lot more over on Amazon during fall. We're not out of fall yet, so maybe I'm not too late. This is a fantastic autumn story. So this is about it's like basically the Salem witch trials the way that I wished it happened. It's really good. So it's a fantasy novel. Our main character is Agatha. I'm pretty sure that's what her name, Abitha. And of course, you can probably guess, eventually in the story, she is told she's a witch, and her entire village starts to get paranoid. But she is introduced to all of these different creatures, and these are inspired by some Native American myths, and it combines Native American mythology with Puritan ideology back in the day. It's pretty fun. So Brahm, if you're unfamiliar, is a famous artist, and he's contributed a ton to like the Wizards of the Coast, a lot of D&D stuff, Magic the Gathering, and he's created a lot of a visual for a lot of these characters and stories, these myths, these creatures. And some of those motifs are things that we see today that we didn't really have a lot of representation for. So I highly recommend Slewfoot too. It's a great novel. It's fun. Our main character, Abatha, she's hilarious. Like, she is a strong character. She's very independent. So check out Slewfoot by Brahm. He's got a ton of cool other books too, but this is a awesome like Salem witch trial fantasy that I wished was true. Like, this one is way better than the real one. Obviously, the real one's horrible. Okay, so Sean said, oh, hi, Carrie. Hello. Yes, Jack does look pretty cool, doesn't he? He's huge. I love him. He's pretty awesome, but he should stay outside. So I guess since I am talking about him, I will make sure to I'll highlight him. So if you are interested in this awesome inflatable, he is on Amazon and it's $79. This is, I think, the perfect size. So it's around 5.5 to 6 foot tall. I can actually face him when I stand up. So I'm about 5'4". And I like his hands so much because they don't, they're not perfect hands. They're all gnarly and creepy and cute. But this is a really sturdy, easy to put away inflatable. I really like him, actually. Like some inflatables, I think can be really difficult to put away because there's just so much going on. This one's perfect. It's just awesome. And it's got a cool light in there. If you don't want him to fly away, there are stakes that come with the inflatable too, so that he doesn't, bye, Jack. Have fun being Santa Claus for a day in the sky. So he's really, really cool. Definitely check him out. If you are looking for some spookier inflatables instead of Happy Rudolph, Happy Santa, you can get Spooky Jack, who's trying his best. Exactly. Sean says, okay, hold on a second. She's not going to take a chance of Jack getting damaged outside. Would Twilight be a TikTok trend book or just garbage? Asking for a friend. I'm taller than Jack. I'm 6'2". So I would say because Twilight wasn't around for TikTok, it would have been a TikTok trend, I think. If TikTok was around when Twilight was published way back in the day when, I was in high school, yeah, I think it would have been a TikTok trend for sure. And I also think it's probably just garbage. Just saying. Sorry, I shouldn't be saying that over here. Okay. So our next story I want to present to you today is a cookbook. I hope I grabbed it. Yes, I'm glad Carrie said it too. Oh, gosh. We're so bad. Okay, so if you are looking for a way to maybe celebrate Christmas, but you don't necessarily want to have your, sometimes Christmas can have some boring food or it's the same food, or maybe you want to start some new traditions. Check out Harry Potter Official Christmas Cookbook. This has a lot of cool stuff. I think a lot of people will watch Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and do like big watch-a-thons. And this would be such a fun pairing with that. You can watch all 7. Actually, isn't it more? Because didn't they split it between part 1 and part 2? You can watch all the Harry Potter movies and have a giant Harry Potter feast at the same time. This is $19.58 for this awesome cookbook. So let me share with you some of the goodies inside. It is a really cool cookbook. There's a lot of recipes in here that I was like, what? I need to make this because they look really easy. So here we have puff pastry books. And in addition to that, you don't need this just for the holidays. This is perfect for all year round. There are some wintry illustrations throughout this book. Like this is Hogsmeade. Here we have soups and starters. Ooh, I'm so excited. This is cute. This is bubbling cauldron bites. Oh, goodness. We have even things like a steak tartare, shrimp cocktail here. Oh, by the way, since I have Sean and Carrie here, can you guys hear the Jack Skellington air thing going? Like, is it really loud on my end? I'm curious because it's loud for me. So I'm like, I hope you guys can hear me. Okay. Sean says, oh, Carrie says, don't burn books. I was kidding, but there's nothing that says I can't toss it in the recycling bin. That is true. You can also make cool paper airplanes. And then Sean says, yeah, don't burn books. Use some STP instead. You guys are horrible. Since I've had weight loss surgery, I'm becoming the thinner version of Hagrid. So you've got the beard. ZOFPM. Are you saying 0 frames per minute right now? Is that what ZO means? Or am I blind? Is that 20? I don't hear the fan on Jack. Okay, that's good. I'm glad because it's actually quite loud for me. That's why this would be way better outside. BT dubs if you are planning on buying Jack. Okay, so more recipes here. We have 1 pot pumpkin stew. That is Hagrid's. Hey, there you go. Oh, I'm so hungry. Why do we always look at cookbooks every time it's before lunchtime? Okay, so we also have Grimold Place dinner rolls. So I can't eat this, unfortunately. And speaking of dietary restrictions, this book does have dietary restrictions on the very top here, very clearly listed. You could probably get away with trying 5 cups of all-purpose flour. That would probably be really hard, but you could try. I love dinner rolls. That's something I actually miss from my gluten eating days. This is a greenhouse salad. Adorable. This is really whimsical and it's a little weird. People are going to be like, what is in here? But it would be really fun and magical. Let me show some other things in here. We have different meat pies. That's a great option. You can do vegetarian options too here. Of course, a roast turkey. We also have tarts. Almond flour is okay sometimes, but it's really crumbly and it doesn't hold as well. I've been gluten-free for like a decade, so I'm used to it, but I still miss some things. Segue. Brazil has these cheese bread that's naturally gluten-free that is amazing, that I'm actually going to make for dinner rolls for Christmas time this year. Carrie, just saying. Okay, so here we have a floating candle cake. Look at how huge this is. That's so many layers of cake. There are drinks and cocktails in here too, but I want to show some more desserts just so you're aware. They have shortbread Christmas cookies, biscuit pops, and we also have a trifle, which would be so good. I love the trifle idea, actually. I should get a trifle thing. But we also have some interesting wintry drinks. This is called a Beauxbatons punch. Love that. The oh gosh, lavender in there looks really cool. There's hair of the cat. You've lost 54 pounds and you have lost a total of 102 pounds so far. Wait a minute. Okay. Since surgery, you've lost 54 pounds, and in total, you've lost 120. Congrats. That's pretty amazing. How long has that been? It's been probably like 3 months, I would say, right? Since your surgery. I can't remember, or is it shorter than that? Time is becoming so fast, it's hard to keep up. Okay, let me show a few more of these. We have ideas as well in this particular cookbook. So there's movie night, which would be really fun. You can do this the weekend before Christmas time. And we also have the Christmas Day menu. That candle cake. Do you want to stress yourself out? I would totally just go with the trifle. And then, of course, we have Boxing Day as another option. So cool ideas in here. If you are looking for some different holiday recipes, maybe you want to do like something really chill and also match a Harry Potter watching thing, or get together with your friends. This is a cool idea. So anyway, that is the Harry Potter Christmas. I am rambling too much. I'm moving on, going away. Okay, so next in our list today, let's see if I can find this. It is Mi Ofrenda. So I like this because this is a cute little color finding book for babies and little ones. And yes, it is Day of the Dead, but I don't care. Here we have our English and our Spanish translations here. And same for over here, like all of the bubbles and quotes and whatnot. So, my name is Amelia, and today is Day of the Dead. I need your help collecting items for this year's ofrenda. Are you ready to help me find all we need to place on our altar? So then it says, is the red picture frame hanging on the wall? So then you can together be like, okay, where's the red picture frame? So I think it's super cute, a really great way to count and to identify color and to learn 2 languages as well. Are the yellow candies on the stand at the marketplace? So here we have, or candles, sorry. I need better eyeballs, apparently. Here we have green. Did you find the stack of mom's favorite green books on the floor? I love the art style. It is so cute. And I love learning about, you subtly get to learn about Dia de Muertos and how everything is put together and what it's used for, and identifying color, of course. So Yummy, have you set your sights on the brown pan de muerto on the counter? Yum. Oh, God, I just want to eat food. And then is the rainbow papel picado hanging from the tree? This is adorable. So check this out. If you are looking for some really interesting counting books, you can save this too. Maybe you've got a baby on the way, or you know somebody that does. This would be really cute, a great counting book. This is Mi Ofrenda. This is $9.99. A really, high quality board book for sure. And I know it's not Christmas, but I like it. It's cute. Okay, so next on the list today, I have to share with you this comic. I read this comic all the time. Honestly, I would consider this a coffee table read because it's a short, small anthology. Let me check how many. I think there's 6. Yes, 6 stories in this comic book. It's not huge. It's enough to where, it's a great bedtime story. If you want to read something before bed, that'll scare you. Oh, yes. Sean said, I'll send a link to a site I've been using that has a lot of gluten-free stuff. Oh, very cool. Yes, please do. And then you're 3 months post-op on the surgery. Okay, good. I got that right. I was like, I hope it's been 3 months. I hope it hasn't been like 6 months or, a year. That would be embarrassing. Okay. So Through the Woods is by Emily Carroll. She's published another comic series recently this year. I think it was summertime. I really love her writing style and her art. So the art is it's spooky in a very either subtle way or really blatant way. It's kind of similar to Junji Ito with like the variation that she has, but it's interesting. The colors that she uses are very they're happy colors. Not all of it is super gothic looking, but the themes in this book get really dark really fast. And the way she the way she narrates in this book is very akin to a fairy tale. So it has a rhythm behind it, and it flows really well, and it's very eerie. So let me see if I can show some of these images. I cannot show because they are really violent, but if you are looking for a really great holiday, I actually did get this as a gift from a friend of mine who knows that I like spooky stuff. So this was a really cool introduction, to a spooky horror author I had never heard of before. So definitely check out Through the Woods. This is a really cool gift option for a friend, especially. It's $11.99, 33% off. I think this book has it says 5 mysterious, spine-tingling stories. Follow journeys into and out of the eerie abyss. Come take a walk into the woods and see what awaits you there. Super cool. Great gift. All right. So next on our list today, I keep getting hair in my eye. It's really horrible. We have here, I also need to drink some coffee, so excuse me for a second. I'm also trying to navigate this at the same time. So while I'm getting this, I just want to let you all know that you can give us a follow on our socials. Make sure to follow us over on our Amazon page. You can find all of that here in this bar. Definitely comment, follow, and subscribe so that you are notified anytime we do go live or upload a new video, a shoppable video, and it really helps us out. So thank you so much for those of you that already do, but I just wanted to let you know about that. All right, on to books. So next book I wanted to share is by Isabel Cañas. It is Vampires of El Norte, and she's the one who also wrote The Hacienda last year in summertime. Carrie said, definitely the perfect gloomy day for coffee and tea gulping. I know. I'm behind on my coffee and tea, getting all these things set up. I feel crazy pants today. I was trying to be festive this weekend and hang some garland. In the process, I knocked down a springbok skull. We have I blocked myself. We have off the post and it fell to the ground. I was bummed out about that. I'm so sorry. That's horrible. Did you guys? Oh, that's horrible that it shattered. I'm sorry. That's not replaceable at all. Okay, sorry. Moving on to Vampires of El Norte. So this book I read. I have a podcast episode about it too. So this is a very interesting story. And I would say it is not the spookiest story. It is more gothic, very romantic, with definitely some horror undertones about it. So it takes place in Southwest United States / Mexico. We have Vaqueros. We have, what is she? She's basically like a medicine woman, our main character, whose name is Nenya. This is around the time that the United States invades Mexico. So we have that definitely in the background throughout this novel, which is kind of distracting from the spooky stuff in this novel. But ultimately, this is a romance about two people that have spent years and years and years apart. One person thought that person was dead. They come back together, and then they have to survive the environment of not only the United States the U.S. Mexican War, but in addition, vampires. And the one thing I do have to say is this is some of the best or more unique vampire I have seen in contemporary literature in a long time. I love the vampires in here. I thought they were very cool, and I highly recommend it just for that. The romance it's a romance for sure, but it was a really cool book. I do like it. Isabel Cañas is very well educated. I believe she even has a PhD, and she's an amazing author. I just really recommend her. I'm going to check out The Hacienda as well, because I just really enjoyed her writing style. So if you're looking for more of a gothic romance with some undertones of horror, I highly recommend this, and historical fiction as well. Okay, so next book I want to share today is it's a short. Would you consider this a novella? Probably. So this is The Salt Grows Heavy. Let me get here. I did read this one as well, but it's been a while. So this is by Cassandra Khaw, another amazing up and coming horror author. I think she's here. She's not up and coming at all. Like, she's done quite a few things. She did what's the book? Here it is. Nothing But Blackened Teeth, which has a lot of mixed reviews. So I was really curious about this one. One, it was a novella, it was short, and it was a weekend, and I was like, good, I have some time. So not very long, but this is about an interesting adventure between a plague doctor and a mermaid. But the mermaid is really creepy, actually. So it's not this magical mermaid. They go off and this big thing happened to the mermaid's homeland, and they go off and travel, and they find this, I guess, like isolated place that is not invaded, but there are some creepy kids and creepy people and other plague doctors that live there. It's a really interesting story. It too has a lot of this. So it's actually more horror, more creepy, but it definitely has like a slight romantic vibe to it, but in a different way than you would imagine. It talks about, specifically, the themes are about how women who are wild, who maybe don't follow specific laws or the norms that the patriarchy has laid out for us, how those women and those creatures in mythology are always considered monsters. So it's a really cool book that talks about those themes, about monsters who are female and what those tend to be and what those personality types are, and how they destroy everything. So it's a really cool, very interesting novel. And just beautifully written. And it's dark. The first page. Let me just read like the first paragraph. So it says here, the foundation at a careless look could pass for bones, the door for a mouth, the chimney a finger crooked at the sky, or at a wife who would not be a savior. I mean, just the way she writes is really poetic. I don't know, and dark. Cassandra Claus, The Salt Grows Heavy, another really cool book option if you do have people that are looking for some shorter stories out there. Okay, next on the list today. Oh, it's hard holding up all these books. My hands are tired. I feel maybe I'm just tired today. It seems like a really dreary day for some reason. Okay, so next on our list today is The Night Eaters. This is by award-winning author and illustrator Sana Takeda and Marjorie Liu. She Eats the Night. This is volume 1. Volume 2 came out in October, so check it out. This is about Chinese American immigrants, parents who have to basically save their kids from a financial disaster because they run their own like smoothie shop. And they're so bad at it. It's kind of funny. It's almost like millennials versus boomers a little bit, just a little bit. And then the parents talk about this place across the way that needs to be cleaned up, and it's allegedly haunted. So it becomes this kind of hysterical trip into this haunted house. And it's funny. It's dark too. So the illustrations, let me see if I can find a few things. The illustrations are really beautiful. She has a very soft touch. She uses watercolor. It's just really stunning. You can kind of see just interesting designs too. Let me see if I can find a better photo. I didn't realize I had a... So she's got subtle designs in every single one of her panels as well, like very, very small. And she's very talented. The writing is fun. So this is more of a... comedy horror graphic novel, to me at least. Check it out. It's really fun. And like I said, Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda have won awards for their comic Monstrous. And they're working together again with this new, interesting, relevant book that also is horror and comedy. They tend to work together. They're an amazing duo of Asian American and female writer and author combo. It's pretty awesome. I highly recommend this one too. Okay, next on our list, it's getting so warm. Oh, okay. Trying to go through these really fast because I know we have a ton of books. Why did I add so many? So I have a few nonfiction novels or things that you can use as gifts. This isn't necessarily relevant for the holidays, but this would be a really fun gift to give to somebody that you love, who likes witchy stuff, who likes gardening. So this is called The Green Witch's Garden. It is really cool. So there's not only, I mean, there's a ton of information in here, but there's a lot of beautiful illustrations throughout that talk about each plant, their magical properties, what you can do, but also like how to take care of the plants, different gardening ideas. So this is a, I think this is a astrology garden. So you can divide up your entire garden so that it grows throughout the year or has different plants that represent the different signs. We have a lunar garden. Let me see if I can find it here. There's an element garden. This one's the elemental garden, which I am very tempted to do myself. But yes, so you don't have to do big gardens either. A lot of us live in smaller spaces like apartment buildings and condos or shared spaces. So you can do your own terrariums or bigger terrariums and still grow some cool plants that all have magical properties. And they guide you on what kind of plants you might want to grow, what works together, not just literally in an ecological way, but also what works in a magical way. So that's cool. And you can get different illustrations of these plants so you can actually identify them properly. Again, you know, do more research than just this book, but there's a lot of cool stuff in here. And of course, because this is a witchy book, it talks about different associations, how you can use these for things like spell jars or your own practice if you do spells at all. Eating, so food, be careful with the food, but you can also do that. There's magical tips for caring for your garden. There's also creating your own garden oracle. So there's a lot of cool information. There's a lot of cool information in here. It's not a terribly long book, but it makes a really great gift. It's a beautiful, just in general, cover and quality book. Like the spine is just, it's like, what's the word? It's extra safe. I had the word. Anyway, check this one out. This is a really cool gift option. This was gifted to me. This is the Green Witch's Garden, a beautiful, awesome witchy garden book. And then I want to share a comic that I still have yet to read. This is Twistwood Tales. This is $11.99 on Amazon. This was a web comic that finally got published into a giant comic. It's cute. So it says here on the back, a scarecrow who loves birds, a ghost afraid to scare, a log who longs to sleep. Twistwood Forest is home to anyone who feels a little lost. Join them and many others in this magical, sometimes creepy world from the hit comic series Twistwood Tales. We have Bucket Boy and the Goblin Queen's riddle is an example of one of the stories. So here we will share some of these beautiful illustrations. They're very cute and very funny. There's like the coolest Plague Doctor character in here. There's so many fun, interesting cartoon characters, but this is relatable to a ton of people. If you're feeling a little lost, you're not the only one. So that's kind of nice. So here is what each panel is kind of like. I'll go slow so that you can, and you get a close up here. This, again, a really good option for any goths out there who love graphic novels. Maybe they like cutesy, but also dark reads. This is the cool, very cool. I know a ton of people who like cute stuff, but also spooky at the same time. That's a whole thing. So check out Twistwood Tales. It reminds me of Over the Garden Wall, if you've ever seen that before. That's a great cartoon, by the way. But it reminds me of that, and you get the same kind of vibe with the characters here, too. So, yes, check this one out, too. It's super cute. All right, so moving on. Let me see where I'm at with my... Oh, I'm not doing too bad. Yay. I'm not doing horribly. Okay, so the next thing I want to share today. Oh, this is a good sale. Okay, so real fast. My husband knows that I gift him Berserk every holiday and every birthday. It's kind, some people have those traditions where you're like, I know my mom always gets me chapstick, for instance. So for my husband, it's Berserk. I do it every single year. So ever since I felt like that I could justify getting the deluxe versions of Berserk, I did it because this is a collector item. So the deluxe version of Berserk is beautiful, as you can see. I love the simplistic design, and the more I add to my collection, the cooler it gets. It's like an encyclopedia of Guts and Berserk. Yay! Guts is the main character, by the way. So this is 41% off. Usually they are around $50 per giant tome of manga. But the fact that it is $29.56 is amazing. In fact, if all of them were that price, I would buy a ton of these because $50 for me is a lot. So here is it's by Kentaro Miura. I love Berserk. It is one of my favorite comic series. It's hard to put this up, and I also don't want to ruin it and try to do this one-handed. The art here is phenomenal. He is well known for his ink work. The detail is crazy. This this manga series has been out, or has been slowly coming out, since the 80s. So he's been working on this series for a very long time. It is a dark fantasy, like sword and sorcery. Something I kind of, it's really similar to like if you love the Dark Souls game franchise, or if you like Elden Ring, you will probably like Berserk. It's it's about this swordsman named Guts who kills a ton of demons. It is really awesome. I just, it's so good. The storytelling and the artistry is perfect. So Kentaro Miura passed away a couple years, or I think it's been a couple years now. It's so depressing. It's so sad. Rest in peace, Kentaro. Anyway, so he's passed away now, and he has a team that's finishing up the series. So there will be, I think 25 volumes of these, but this has been going on. This comic has been going on for so long. So if you are also a collector, I highly recommend getting this one. This is the Berserk Deluxe version, Volume 1. So it collects, I believe, volumes 1 through 3. So keep that in mind. I had to do some research because I'm trying to get rid of some of the other ones, the paperbacks, for the hardbound. Okay, so next on our list today, that's a workout. It's a big book. Another cool baking book that you can use for this holiday season. Where did you go? Here it is. Because we have Jack here, he's my friend today. You can also make a bunch of cool Nightmare Before Christmas baked goods for the holidays. Maybe you watch Nightmare Before Christmas for the holidays. Hold on a second. So this one's perfect. It is the Nightmare Before Christmas baking book. There are a ton of Nightmare Before Christmas baking books out there, but I really like this one. So we have a ton of cool bakes, from really easy to really difficult. We have some cakes. We have some pies. There's cookies. There's so many things. So let me show you some of my favorites. Okay, of course, this is easy. This is the Pumpkin King pumpkin pie. This one would be really easy, especially if you get a template that's got Jack's face. Unfortunately, the one disadvantage about this book is I don't think it does have some of these templates, which it needs. So here is a list of all of the ingredients you might need. We have, this one's a pretty easy recipe. Here's our instructions. So yes, it looks pretty easy to me. I want to make it today, but I can't. Not today. So this is the Pumpkin King pumpkin pie. Let me show you another fun one. We have different cookies. Of course, if you are a person that loves all of the holiday cookies and presenting a ton of those, you can. We have Sally's Patchwork Cookie Hearts. Those are so cute. We have also a Toffee Espresso Coffin Cookie. And here's some really interesting cakes. So not all of these are super spooky. Like this one, we have a Halloween Yule log. It's a chocolate and orange cake. I'm kind of debating on doing a Yule log this year, to be honest. I think it'd be really, really fun. And this one would be great flavors too. Here we have here's the one. Where's the Santa? Oh, this is fun. We have I haven't seen this one yet, actually. Creepy Christmas gift box eggnog cake. Look at that. That's so cute. And honestly, it's not even that creepy. You could totally have this during Christmas if you are hosting for more traditional Christmas people. We have a Sandy Claus, which I need to find. Where did he go? Oh, I think I skipped him on accident. Anyway, it's a pretty amazing baking book with a ton of recipes in here for many different difficulties. There's showstoppers, there's some easy peasy recipes. So check it out if you are looking for a baking book, or this is a great gift option. If you know somebody that loves Nightmare Before Christmas and baking, this is together. I would say this has some of the best recipes in here with some really cool stuff, like very unique bakes I have not seen before in a in one of the Nightmare Before Christmas baking books. So check it out. All right, so I think we have time for one more on my list today. It is Magica. We'll do this one. It's $20. So if you do, again, have somebody in your life that is trying to get into the witchy spirit, this has everything you could possibly need, and it's illustrated too. So not only do you get a narrative, you get a visual of different things. And this is for all kinds of witchy stuff. So here we have different celebrations. They acknowledge different holidays from different places, but we have different ways to protect your magical space, candles, the colors, what each candle represents, and the color, different shapes, different things. Here we have herbs, flowers, their magical properties. Hello, Richard. It's been a while. I am glad you stopped by, and thank you so much for putting the little thingy in my chat box. I appreciate it. Here we have two more of our herbs and things like that. We have infusing magic in your coffee/tea. We also have gems, crystals, palmistry. Is that how you say it? I'm not sure. I might be making up words at this point. There are even angels, their names, the numbers, sacred numbers. Then we have Wheel of the Year festivities, what you can do during each part of the year. So let me go to Yule just so that you're, it's festive. And every single page for every holiday has different festive illustrations on here, different things you can do with recipes and activities. So I love this book. It's a great book for introducing witchcraft to your fellow friend or loved one. We have different moons, different astrology stuff, and tarot. So it's a really beautiful, all-encompassing book with lots of cool stuff. Make sure to follow this person over on Instagram. They've got a really awesome page there too. So this is Magica. I highly recommend it. It's only $20 for all kinds of information in here and beautiful illustrations. I mean, this is a really cool book. All right, y'all. That is the end of my live stream. Make sure to give me a follow, to comment. You'll be notified anytime we do go live again. Make sure to have a safe holiday season and happy shopping. Books are always a really good gift for your loved ones, and not all of us are I love the spooky novels, and I'm sure I'm not alone here. So I hope this list was really helpful. Thank you again, and thank you for those that did comment. Thank you, Richard, for stopping by, and Carrie and Sean. I super appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next live stream.